One day, a woman brushes through your life and suddenly you're snagged. Hooked. Like a fish. What's happening is you've heard the captivating song of the siren. Perhaps you recall the story from the Odyssey, when Odysseus anticipates sailing past the notorious Isle of the Sirens, those dangerous erotic women who lure men to their deaths. In order to keep the sorceress' song from intoxicating his men, Odysseus stuffs wax into their ears, meanwhile instructing them to tie him to the mast, so that he alone can listen, and to disregard his shouts and moans until long after they've passed the dangerous island, when they can safely remove the wax and untie him. I am a sculptor of human figures, and I'm one who's been extra susceptible to women's charms, often led like a bull with a ring in its nose into terrible trouble that usually cost me or my partner dearly. I felt like I'd been duped every time, the sexy allure of the woman either leading me into tragedy or leaving the woman wounded enough to warn her friends away from me. I swore I would never let it happen again. I needed to figure out a better way. So I hatched a plan. Being a figurative artist, I decided to hire an attractive woman as a model and observe my reactions with cool detachment as I drew her in the nude. So it is that a young, beautiful woman came to my studio, took off all her clothes and posed for me, welcoming my penetrating and lingering gaze. Immediately I felt my blood rise. I could hardly think of anything but taking her in my arms and making her mine. This is the song of the siren. I know it well. I've been here many times. But this time I stay my urge and tie myself to the mast, simply listening to that intoxicating song. My fingers clutching a pencil as it drifts over the surface of a blank sheet of paper. I stab and tear at the paper, letting my desperation exhaust itself in line and form. Time and time again, I start with a new sheet, allowing my hand to reply to the spirit of the siren's song with a song of my own. But the more I work, the more I'm worked up. I begin to sweat. The pressure is too great. I can't stand it any longer. I have got to take her. She's right here, waiting. Hell, I hired her. And then I lost control and I dove toward that erotic song. But there I caught sight of the rocks below the siren's cliff. The rocks that would be the death of me. Painstakingly, I've learned the wise counsel that urges you, like Odysseus, to tie yourself to the mast and listen more carefully to that bewitching song that women sing, to unravel its mysteries and digest the magic it contains, and thus take control of your life. It's not that the sexual drive, strong as a bull, is not real and immediate. It's that there's something else accompanying that urge, something ineffable, and in fact even more alluring and satisfying than simply getting your rocks off. At the end of each session, I pay the model, thank her for her work, and send her off into the gentle night. I realize I could have asked her to stay for a glass of wine and maybe a little dancing, but how many times have I done that, only to have the siren I've captured lose her stunning allure and turn into a regular mortal? What I seek is something even more spectacular, more enduring, if I can only hold myself there in the tension. I'll never find the secret if I can't keep from being snagged by the lure. If only I can hold myself there in that tension. There is yet another story to be told here. If only. If only.